know what's also gonna shift so fast? The new Supra.
Me to my bed after this pizza is done cooking.
No, you gotta fix your truck.
Yeah, fix your fucking truck.
It does need to be fixed. Yes, it does.
What happened to fixing your truck, man? You're like, I'm gonna fix my truck now.
Well, I had a 2-hour ordeal at the shop that I didn't get anywhere, and I'm frustrated.
Explain to our friends.
Okay, explain it.
Alright, today it's gonna be a horrible day because it includes wiring.
I'm out.
No, come back! Come back! Good news is we don't have to work over here, Steven says.
I don't think so.
We have to work over here. Alright, I'm out.
Bye.
No, Steven came and helped me rewire my S14, so I'm going to do my best to help him rewire his SR interior harness. So the switches and the relays and the fuses. Just to make it look prettier in here and to be able to reach things better. If you guys don't know, Steven lives with Matt. He's his roommate. And if you've ever seen the white FRS at the old shop with Tyson doing burnouts and crazy stuff.
Not me.
Yo, quick.
Yeah.
Does this look like it has a crack right there?
Oh! Oh no! How did you? It's so bright! It's like the sun! Why would you do that to me? Now that I can see again, this is Steven's drift car that never drifts.
Hey, it tries.
It's a sit car.
No, it's gonna be drifted. It runs now. He figured
It
out.
drifts on 3 cylinders. It's gonna be even better on 4.
Well, it used to, but he figured out his issue. It was an injector. What was it? The filter was clogged.
Yeah, the filter was clogged.
Yeah, which is common sense.
Yeah,
I would
it was
assume.
basically flowing so little fuel that it didn't fire at all.
Yeah.
So.
But no one ever checks the filters on the actual injector. Everyone's like, oh, there's a giant fuel filter. It's, you know, that does everything. Well,
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
it didn't. So if you're watching this video, check your injectors if you have a misfire. That's important. It's running great now, but he wants to better his wiring, just kind of like I did with my LS. And he's cleaning it up so to make sure that there is no ignition cut or anything like that.
Yeah, I had a few issues during events and stuff. Things were just moving around. So things grounded out a few times. Cleaned it up.
Not anymore. We're gonna
No
fix
more of
that.
that.
But how much power do you think this thing makes?
Low 300s.
Low 300s? It's on 93 right now, right?
It's on 93.
RS enthalpy tune.
Yep. Dyno tune. Martin.
What size injectors?
650s.
And turbo?
T28.
From?
Built by Turbo Bay.
Nice. Alright. I can't wait to see this. Ow! Sideways! So Steven got these fuse block boxes from Amazon. And it has fuses right here and relays. And are they connected or you gotta do the connection in the back?
They're basically like pigtails right now.
I see.
It goes from fuse to relay, but nothing else.
So basically we'll just be connecting power, ground, making all the connections there, and then it'll have signal, and then it goes from there to the switches. Where are your switches?
Well, I ripped them all out.
Oh.
So what's left is back there behind the seat. And we can take what we want.
Okay.
And then I have a new panel.
So we're gonna grab all those switches back there. We're gonna make a nice little panel, drill holes. They're gonna screw right into the holes, and then it can go right here in the center somewhere. Oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this?
LRE Speed. I think they're out of Tampa, so local company.
That's amazing. You put all your gauges there, and then your switches right here. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, and if you want like a certain number of gauges or certain size or anything, they'll do it all custom. Just let them know.
Sick.
That's who made my door cards too for the Z.
LRE Speed.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get another set for the new Z.
Awesome.
It's gonna be rad.
So Steven already isolated his signal wires for most of his stuff, and he put them on a nice little harness so it protects it. And basically that is power for like coil packs, fuel injectors, ECU, what else? The sensors.
O2 sensor, and
yeah.
that's about it.
So all of that's going to be on an ignition to a relay and then a fuse. The way the relay works is you can't, hold on. You can see the numbers there, 86 and 85. And those are going to be your power and your ground. And it doesn't matter which way it goes, but when power or ground is passed through there, it's going to activate from 30 to 87. In this case, it's 87A and 87. Some other ones have different numbers. But basically, pretend like this is a little switch here, and it can click from this side to this side. So when it's inactive, it's going to be 30 and 87A are making a connection. When it's active, 30 and 87 make a connection. So this is basically your switch giving it power, which passes the connection to your signal wire, which turns on whatever it's supposed to be turning on. Now, this is a I don't know what you'd call these, five prong relay, which means that there's one in the middle here. Most of the ones we are going to be using are 4, and even, I don't think we're going to use any 5s.
We're not even going to use the 5th.
Yeah. Basically, this one has an 87 and 87A. One of those two is the middle here, and most of the 4 prongs don't have that. It says the numbers right in there, upside down, but you get the idea. So when this is off, this one actually passes the power to 87. So this will always be active. So let's say you have, you put a relay before this relay and you turn it on, and then 30 to 87 will turn on a certain light. And when this relay sees a power, then it turns 87A on. So it'll be from high beam to low beam type of example, In between all that, you have to have a fuse. It just basically holds the amperage so that you don't overheat the wire or the relay in itself and cook it. Too much voltage causes heat. Heat melts plastic and then causes a fire. So that's the point of a fuse. So the fuse goes in line, and if something grounds out in the wrong place, it overheats and breaks the fuse, because each fuse has a certain size, and that's what makes those numbers up: 5, 10, 30, 70, 40. It's how thick that fuse is and how much voltage it can actually take. So if it goes too much, it'll just boop, pop, and then there's no more connection, which means no more heat, no fire. So everything should have a fuse in your car. Every power wire should have a fuse. So every power wire going to these relays, which activate fans or ignition or whatever you're going to use it for, fuel pump, needs to have a fuse. In case you get into an accident and your body, your chassis is ground. So if a wire gets crimped in something and the isolation gets peeled away and it touches the chassis, it'll cause grounding, which will cause heat. And that's the point of the fuse. It pops and you're good. No more power on that wire. Not necessarily finished, but we got that in there. The hood's probably going to need a little spacing. Right now it's even. It's just really far that way. But if you space it out, then you'll be able to get that, remove it. So, but that's done. Then the power wire is going to go from the battery all the way, the battery's in the back, right?
Yep, battery's in front.
So it's going to come over across this way to there, and then from there, it's going to go to our fuse block that he's working on up here. He's soldering and heat shrinking all the wires together. And if you see, that's where it goes from the fuse to the relay. And then this side will go to power, which that's what's going to go to where I'm making. And that's going to go to the other side.
I do.
So the power coming off that fuse block is going to go into this distribution plate. Basically the big giant wire that comes off of this thing is going to go to here. And then from all these little holes, it's going to be eyelets on the wires that are going down to the two fuse block, relay block. So I measured out the plate. I already cut the starter hole. Going to drill a pilot hole, then switch to the bigger bit and drill the rest for our switch panel. So I'm finished with this. He needs to buy 2 more switches for the right side. This is going to be the starter. It needs to be bigger. We don't have the drill bit for that right now. And that's pretty much it. This is already wired. It just needs the signal to turn it on and power, so that, because these light up. So
These are just all getting power. These two as well. So this is main ignition. And then this is ECU and accessory here, and all your sensors. And then this is the ECU memory wire here.
perfect.
That's it.
que conmigo siente lo que con otra no sienta. De nuevo ella se quiere lucir. Fantasma conmigo quiere dormir. Entre ella y mí.
I know I gotta get a dead cat, Stephen. Okay. Oh my God, you look so good. Like not like actually, not physically. I mean the camera makes the shot look good, but not physically. This should be like on your.
Thanks, Marco.
It should be like on your Tinder profile. You doing that little thing? Do your thing, which is yeah, that's your Tinder profile right there.
Right there.
Look at that. It's good quality. It's dark over here in my eyes, but on the camera it's not. That's wild. Wang's here.
Camera.
We're back to this nightmare of wiring. It'll be alright. We're almost done. The dash has been done and all that. You guys just saw. So we just got to run a couple more wires and put the dash back in and see if it starts. Don't forget to heat shrink as much as you can. The last thing that's going to go on that side of the battery side of the post is the memory wire for the ECU. The ECU has to always have memory even if the cutoff switch is off. That was nice. So this is the back of the switches. This is the starter signal. And these are the switches. They have 3 little prongs on them. One is going to be power for whatever accessory you're powering. This is the wire for the accessory. And the bottom one is a ground because these switches light up. So when it's on, it'll be lit up, and when it's off, it'll turn off.
It's lit.
Yeah, so the grounds are all looped together to all the grounds. So you only have to wire it once. And it's this one right here. This one's not on. I took it off. And then the power is also looped together right here. It's the black one, so you can see. Whoop. And you only have to do it once to that block that Steven put by the cutoff switch. And then these are the individual accessories. So closest to the starter will be ignition, then fuel pump, then fans, and then whatever other accessories he's gonna do. I had to record this because I never thought I'd see Matt work. What do you mean what I mean?
8 hours of it today.
I mean working on a car.
What do you mean? I'm in your shop every day. Our shop.
Okay, working on this
I
car.
was at the shop today. Were you? No.
You were just hanging out a second ago.
I was making sure my beer was attended to.
It is attended to.
Yo, why do you have to get the thickest water, like 2 C's thick?
He's never gonna melt that. Huh?
It's not going to the grounding point?
No, it's going to the power of the starter. That's what. Go look at it.
This is ridiculous.
I'm just saying, we're trying to figure out the alternator in the SR. And there's 2 wires that come off the alternator where the regulator plug is. There's the main big power wire that goes to the battery, and then there's 2 that we need to power. Right now, he has one powered to the 12-volt block, and the other one is just hardwired into the starter. I'm like, that's the same thing.
And then we have a mat.
He's making sure. He's looking for the wires. You're going to find it. I'm going to make the connection, and if it breaks your alternator, I'll buy you a new one. It's on camera.
Oh, okay, go ahead, please.
Let's go.
Well, if you want the ideal connection, just go to match.com.
Oh, one more thing. KA alternators work on the SR. You just got to drill them through them. So, easy.
I don't want a K alternator.
It's better. It's better. Because once you do it once, you can just go buy a K alternator at AutoZone.
No.
You can't say an SR alternator. They're like, what is an SR? You mean like a Sentra?
Hey, we're vlogging now. We're vlogging. We're doing this. We need to get rid of this whole keychain situation.
Keychain?
It's your leash, your camera leash. What is this, a dog? We have a dog for a camera now?
Yeah, I don't
Take
want it
off
to
the
fall.
leash. Let it free range.
Free.
What are we welding?
We're not welding. We're soldering. You're soldering. Come here.
I'm soldering. Hold on, I'll one hand wonder this thing. Let's go.
You need one hand for the solder and one hand for the thing.
Yeah.
Just use the monkey thing.
I got 2 hands, one for the solder, one for the camera. There we go.
Oh my God, I'm gonna burn myself.
You're good.
Okay, you can stop now. You can stop. That's a lot.
I'm just gonna show them the most important part of car building. Is this part? It is in here. So when you come over here, you want to go into your house and you want to install one of these. So it's a 5-speed. It's a 5-speed on tap. And this is probably the most important part of car building, because you will get stressed out. Things will happen. You'll break stuff. You'll just come in here and shift it into fourth, and that's how you survive everything cars. You're at 8 foot now. You gotta let it go. 8 foot. Watch it. Really lob it here. Look at that. 8 foot right. Hold on. Now, give me one more try. Give me one more try.
Oh, we're trying here, guys. We really are. We got the fans done, starter done, alternator done. All he's got left is the signal for the switches, and then we can see if the car starts. The power and the ground's already done. Okay, it's back together. Moment of truth. And starter. Woo! Yeah, baby! It's kind of laid out, so we can't leave it on too long. I'm super stoked. We got this done in like, what, 2 nights?
2 nights.
That's pretty exciting. Wait,
Yeah.
It's not all the way done. There's the lights still need to be fixed and done. What other switches did you want to do?
2 fan switches.
They're already done. I ran the wire. They just
Yeah.
need to be put
Just
to the signal to the switch, and the wire needs to be put on the relay. But it already has power and ground, so 2 solders, and that's it. That's another thing, is we soldered everything. There are no crimps in that whole system, so it took a long time.
Yeah.
You know, if you were crimping it, you're like, rip, 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 done. And we were sharing a solder too, so that didn't help. I should have brought mine. I don't think we have any before shots, but this looks way better. Once he puts all that stuff back together and the little lit cover over there, that looks amazing. And then the gauges still have to be done. But the most important part, which is the wiring and getting the car to run and cleaning up the main ignition wires, is done.
Yeah, that was a big step. It was a mess for a long time.
Hello. Good job, guys. Teamwork. Teamwork.
You did a
makes the
good.
dream
You did a
work.
good job. You did like 2 wires. I saw it.
Hey, if those 3 wires weren't soldered, this car would not be running.
You're right. You know what?
Like,
I do
makes
not
a difference.
disagree.
You wired the fans, which we didn't finish.
Ooh. I didn't want to put that on him. Actually, he did wire the alternator. Remember?
Oh, okay. Well, this
So-
is all because of you, Matt. Thank you so much.
Well, could have ran without the alternator. You know, whatever. We're not gonna go there. So, thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing, and I hope you guys see Steven ripping soon at the track. So,
Peace.
goodbye.
Alright, I'm going to bed.